Start.
Hello everybody. I welcome you all for the live session. This is Dr. Champavati from Shri Shri Tattva Panchakarma. As I said you all that I'll be talking regarding throat infections today. So let us know what's throat. So what is throat? Throat is nothing but the front part of the neck region where it covers the larynx, pharynx, epiglottis. It also has tonsils in it, and then it continues as a trachea and esophagus. See, this throat is a middle part. It connects with various organs. It connects with the ear, it connects with the oral cavity, it connects with the nose, it connects with the lungs, and it connects with the gut as well. So whenever if there is any infections which is pertaining to the throat, it might take its infection to all the organs which is related with. So what is throat infections? Any infections or inflammation related to the larynx, pharynx, then tonsils, that come under throat infection. What is itis? Itis is nothing but infection or inflammation. So you say pharyngitis. If it is related to the pharynx, then you say it as pharyngitis. If it is related to the larynx, then you call it as a laryngitis. If it is related to the tonsils, you call it as tonsillitis. What happens here is there is inflammation of the mucosa of that particular tonsils. It is very obvious and easy that this infection would spread so easily as it is interlinked. See, for example, if at all if you had a cold, common cold or rhinitis, something, then after like 1 or 2 days you will end it up saying I have ear infection, I have some sort of itching sensation in my ear, and then you also say I have itching sensation in my throat, I have itching sensation and in my above the palate. All these things you keep on saying. So this is all like it is very much interlinked, and hence you feel like it is spreading. This throat infections do spread very fast to the other organs where it is linked. And you see this throat is a gateway for both air and the food passage. So if at all you have throat infection and you consume food, and this bacteria go into your stomach as well, and then you will end up having a loss of appetite as well with the throat infection. So if any throat infection, you will have to be very careful and you will have to take care of it, and you're not supposed to neglect any thing which is related to the throat. Okay, I hope you got an idea like what is throat infection. Throat infection is, I'm telling it for a general, it is a throat infection, but when you meet up a doctor, he will diagnose what sort of throat infection, like if it's a pharyngitis, if it's a laryngitis, or if it's a tonsillitis, or if it's a epiglottitis. Okay, fine. So what are the causative factors for this throat infections? So you might have experienced this when you take a lot of ice creams, refrigerated items, you get this throat infection. And then if you meet somebody with a throat infection, then you get infected very soon with that person, contact with that person, you get infected very soon with a sneeze. And if at all you have rhinitis, as I said earlier, it is an like it spreads its infection from one part to other. If you have cold, cough, and if at all you have rhinitis, you will end up with the throat infections. And then if you are exposed to polluted water or polluted air, and if you are exposed to smoke which is polluted, and all this will cause throat infection. And the main thing for recurrent throat infections, you might tell I have this recurrent throat infection. It is because you have very low immune, your immune system is very low. If your immune system is very low, you would not have that resistance towards the bacteria, and hence you will end up having different sort of infections. And this throat infection may be because of virus and bacteria, and this throat infection is also caused with esophageal reflux. What is esophageal reflux? Esophageal reflux is nothing but you would have sore belchings, right? And that belchings would irritate the mucosa of pharynx, larynx, either causing or ending up with the different varieties of throat infection. So you got an idea like what causes throat infection. So what is the signs and symptoms of this throat infections? When you have a throat infection, like everybody would have experienced at least once in their lifetime, they would have some sort of itching sensation or scratchy feeling in their throat. And then they would have severe pain, and this severe pain aggravates on swallowing something or speaking. It aggravates, and they will have burning sensation as well. and the infection would spread to the ear as well for some people. So not only this one, there are some associated symptoms including this one. These are the main symptoms which I explained. The associated symptoms, like if you have throat infection, obviously you will have headaches, and then you will have running nose, and then block in the nose, sneezing, then you will have fevers, chills, all these things which would be associated with the throat infection. So hope you all have an idea now what throat infection is. So we would now take up the live questions. Okay, so there is one viewer who has asked, like, there is a lot of mucus in throat, happens more while eating food, what can help, and throat is often sore in the morning. See, while consuming food, there is a lot of mucosa which is produced in the oral cavity. It is normal. You are saying that you have it a more. You have it a more, you mean to say if there is an imbalance with the kapha, there would be excessive increase with the mucus in the throat. And for this I would give an home remedy, is that you can use Triphala Kashaya or Triphala water for gargling your oral cavity. Then it would reduce the mucosal secretion. And also you have said throat is often sore in the morning. He is telling that it is particularly in the morning. Particularly in the morning is just because of the oral bacteria which will irritate the mucosa of the throat. It will irritate the mucosa of the throat and it will cause the infection, and hence you will have to use hot water or warm water while brushing. So if you brush your teeth early morning with a cold water, that would trigger the growth of the bacteria. When you use warm water, that will kill the bacteria. It will not multiply and you will not further have any problems related to the throats. Okay, fine. And then the next question is, I am suffering from throat irritation since 10 months. See, he is telling it is since 10 months. Whenever you have throat infections which are more than, like, it has to be relieved within 3 to 6 days. If at all, if it is more than 15 days, it would have been having some serious issues. And he also says some blood stain and chest pain is also there. So I would suggest you to meet up a doctor as soon as possible. The next question from Facebook Live was, my throat pains a lot, especially during sleep. Why so? See, throat pain during sleep, he is telling only during sleep, is because the person might have an habit of breathing orally. When you breathe orally, the oral mucosa gets dried up, and because of the drying, you might end up with having throat irritation or throat pain. Or you might be using heaters that would be causing dryness, or you might be snoring, and that also causes throat pain or throat irritation. I would suggest you to just see what is the causative factor for that and undergo treatment for it. It is just because of dryness, I feel. And the next question is, my wife has continuous throat pain although she has taken a course of azithromycin and gargling. See, if at all, if you have your immunity at very low levels, you will be getting recurrent throat infections and it would take a lot of time. And if at all you are used to the causative factors, it would not heal. See, if I am eating ice cream and I have throat pain, and if I am eating ice cream again in the next day and I have throat pain, it would not heal because I am not stopping my causative factor. I will have to stop my causative factor. And taking antibiotics without doctor's prescription is really very bad, and your body gets resisted to that antibiotics, and whenever you take it again and again, it does not respond to your body, and you will end up with the disease which is aggravating. Okay. And then one more question is, throat infection doesn't go for 10 to 11 days. As I said, no, if your immunity is very low, then you will have to increase or boost your immunity. I'll be giving some home remedies which you can use for boosting your immunity. Okay. And there are many questions asking for a dry cough, etc. They want a home remedy. So everybody wants an home remedy for them. Okay. Fine. I'll give one home remedy. You might be knowing this ginger tea. Take 1 or 2 inches of ginger, then crush it or chop it, put it in hot water. Okay, then steep it for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you will have to filter it. You can use honey or sugar, it's an optional. Then you will have to drink it hot. You can use this tea twice and it will give a soothing effect. What happens, why whenever you have throat infection somebody would suggest you drink hot water, do hot water gargling? Why is this? Because the bacterial growth, our body temperature or the cold body temperature or the weather, if it's in winter, then the bacteria would multiply fast and fast and fast. Whenever you use hot water or something to drink hot, it would cut down the multiplication of the bacteria, and hence if the bacteria do not multiply, and you will not have too much of issues, and it starts healing, and hence you will have to drink something which is hot. And you can drink soups like tomato soup or any other soups you can drink, and which will give soothing effect. As I said, the bacteria would not multiply. This is one remedy. And one more remedy for getting rid of this cold and cough, and also for boosting your immunity is like turmeric milk. Take a glass of milk, add 2 pinch of turmeric to it, and then add 1/4 spoon of pepper to it. You can add sugar if at all you want. Then you will have to boil it, then you will have to drink it hot. This boosts your immunity, okay? And then as I said, ginger tea, you can use tulsi leaves the same way as I said for the ginger tea. And one more thing is the best recipe you will have is Eshtimadu Kshira Paka. It is also called as licorice milk. You will have to take some 6 grams, approximately some 1 spoon of licorice, then 50 ml of milk and 200 ml of water. So you will have to mix it together, and then you will have to boil it in such a way that the whole water, the 200 ml of water has to be reduced, has to be evaporated, and only the milk part has to be left. Why is this? Because the contents or the medicinal properties of the licorice has to be embedded inside the milk, and hence it has to be boiled in such a way that, and then you will have to filter it, then you will have to drink. It has a really very good results. You can try this at your home, and if you really want to have a good voice, then you can try this. But for some people, they would not prefer drinking milk or mixing something with the milk. Then for those people, I would recommend you can use plain water which is boiling. Then you can add this licorice or Eshtimadu to it, and you will have to boil it and reduce the water to half. Then you can drink it. You can drink this Eshtimadu Kshira Paka twice in a day on empty stomach. This is an antioxidant, and it will kill the bacteria. It has a really very good effects on treating the inflammatory conditions. Okay, you can try this at your home. And if you have anything which is related to ear, nose and throat, you can meet us at Shri Shri Tattva Panchakarma. Hope this was helpful. Thank you so much.